Hey everybody, welcome back to In the Kitchen with the Plant Based Nutritionista. So, I'm doing this video to respond to some of the comments today that I received from folks to help you know what to do with your food. Some of you said that you threw food away or you gave it away because you didn't know what to do with it. Others of you said, well, because it was organic, you thought because the eggplant was in your refrigerator and the skin started to turn a little bit brown that it was bad, you threw it away. Please do not throw away your food. If the eggplant can be in your crisper for like 3 or 4 weeks and it's totally fine. I literally just cut one that I had in my crisper for about 3 or 4 weeks from Bread and Butter Farms. I gotten around to it and it looked like, oh, maybe it's bad. The skin wasn't as shiny or it looked a little less sleek, if you will. And it felt a little tender. And I was like, well, let me just cut it open and see, just to make sure. It was fine. It's fine. It's skin. It's okay. So let's talk about what to do with eggplant, because some of y'all again said things like you don't know what to do with it, so you got rid of it. Please do not throw your food away. If it's something that you don't know what to do with it and you're afraid that it may go bad before you can figure out what to do with it, give it to someone else, okay? The other thing is there's a little bit of pressure today that suggested I'm not getting recipes out fast enough, and so you're giving it away or throwing it away. Again, I'd rather you give the food away versus throw it away. But here's the thing. You all have access to google.com. You can look up recipes for eggplant, recipes for okra, and figure out things to do if that particular food item is not highlighted for the week. So let's talk about what's in our bag, because I got a lot of questions today about, well, what is this? What is that? Let's talk about it. All right. Everybody should have received mustard greens. Mustard greens. We got mustard greens. This is eggplant. And there's lots of fun things you can do with eggplant. What you will not see me pull out of this bag is parsley, because that is actually an allergy for me. So there's no parsley, but the other bushel of leaves you got is parsley. It is not cilantro, it's parsley. Parsley is amazing. You can do a lot with it. You can garnish just about every dish you want with it by chopping it up very roughly. You can cook it in a stew or a soup. There's lots you can do with that parsley. You can add it to everything, just not only for color, but for the nutrients that it carries. All right, so enjoy that parsley. Some of you got some yellow potatoes. Some of you may say, I didn't have potatoes in my bag. That's okay. That's a part of the CSA. You may have gotten more sweet potatoes. All right, so some of you may have gotten both. Some of you may have gotten more sweet potatoes. It just depends. Again, the way the farm share works is it just depends on the harvest. So we will mix and match when we realize, we don't have enough potatoes, we're gonna fill it in with something else, all right? So just keep that in mind. Sweet potatoes, let me tell you, you haven't had a sweet potato until you had a Bread and Butter Farm sweet potato. So one of the things I love to do with these is roast them in some parchment paper. And then once they're done, the skin is edible, very nutrient dense. I slice it down the middle and I add some berries to it. Blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, chives go really nice with this. And some cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla, and I eat it. Notice I did not say I added butter or sugar, because you don't need it. It is naturally sweet, it is nutrient dense, and it is a nice add-on. It's a nice breakfast by itself. But it's also nice to have as a side if you want to have some for dinner. So got some more eggplant here. Let's talk about this eggplant. You can essentially cut it, and you can toss it in a little avocado oil. You can sprinkle it with a little pink Himalayan salt, and you can roast it in the oven on 395 for about, let's go with 25 minutes for now, and then you can turn it over and roast it again on parchment paper. It is such a nice substitute for potato chips, but it's also a nice addition to any meal as an actual side or a serving, if you will, or as a topping on anything. If you looked at my squash boats last week, I told you I cheated and I added some eggplant. So this is actually parsley. So I will be putting this aside and I will be handing it to my mother. Let's see. I think everybody got acorn squash. So again, how I made those 2 squash recipes so far, you can do that. Actually, no, how I did the acorn squash from last week. Just slice it down the middle. You can massage the outside with just a little bit of oil. Once it's roasted, you stuff it with whatever you want. Rice, lentils, zucchini squash, whatever you want. Eggplant. I've even stuffed it with berries. So take a look at what I posted online. All right, so, and that's just more potatoes and acorn squash. So I want to show you this bag. I brought it home just to show you. Please bring these back every week. And also bring your actual reusable tote, all right? So we want to leave these with the farmers, fill up your tote, and that way we'll have these bags, all right? And then you can have it at the end. Now, for those of you who had a large or medium share, you may have some combination of the following. These are green onions. My goodness, you will never get these so fragrant in the market. Just my 2 cents. And so big. All right, you got some more okra this week. Some of you said you don't know what to do with okra. You can wash it, wipe it off, and you can slice it, and you can put it in some vegetable broth and eat it that way as like a small stew. You can add stuff to it like carrots. Now you have potatoes this week. You can add some potatoes to it. You can add some fresh basil when it's done. You can add some onions. If you don't like the mucilage, which is the thick consistency that okra gives off when it's cooked in water or broth, just add some more broth or water and you can stretch that out and you'll be able to tolerate. Some of us got some purple basil here. Yo, this is so fragrant. And let me tell you, I have done so much with this. You can definitely add it to some water if you're into like infusing your waters and things like that. Let's see, is there anything else in here that was not in the other bags? Uh-oh, the okra spilled out. That's it. So I think that was the big difference. The green onions, the okra, the basil, and just the amount that we get in our large, medium, or large shares, depending on what you have. Again, I get a large share because that works for my lifestyle. And I am a family of 1. And so I enjoy eating all of my plants throughout the week. If you're not one to do a lot of cooking, I recommend that you do meal prep. So make quite a bit and then mix and match how you pair it throughout the week so that you are not cooking every night, because it can be a lot if you have other things to do. So that being said, I believe that's everything in here. Let me make sure I'm not misspeaking. Yeah. That being said, this is your share for week 3. Please do not throw anything away. If you have questions about what's in your share or what to do with it, you can always do a Google search on what to do with your food items. Feel free to send me an email, or you can contact me via WhatsApp and I will offer some suggestions. But ultimately, you're going to take these food items and you're going to make it your own. A lot of these, for example, oh, I got chives. Haha. Speaking of chives. Yes, I got more chives. I didn't finish the other ones I had just yet. So nice garnish for just about everything. Just add it. Like, you don't have to cook everything all the time. Just add this, rinse it off, and just chop some up and add it to your meals. Let me say this. Your potatoes are going to do all right in a dark space. So if you want to leave it on your counter, that's fine. If you're going to eat it, they'll do all right in a dark space. You know, put it in your cupboard there, or leave it on your counter. Some will say don't refrigerate it. I've done both. There's been no issues. I can keep it in the crisper. Same with these. They do all right countertop, and I just leave them out on the counter, and they do just fine. I don't leave them directly on the counter. I have a little, let me show you, little cake stand here that I leave my potatoes and other root vegetables and winter vegetables on. Sweet potatoes, I'll leave them on, and they do just fine. Let's see, got a really big eggplant in my larger share. Oh, you know what? I did forget this. Everybody got an onion this week. That was right. Everybody got an onion this week. That was one thing I forgot to pull out. So we all got a red onion this week, or some sort of onion. So I'm going to stop this video. We're getting at about 10 minutes now. This is not a cooking video, but this is a what do I do with what's in my bag. If you have questions, please ask, and I want to answer them for you. If you have specific questions about your own personal conditions, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, overweight, fill in the blank, and you want to know how food as medicine can support you, you can book an appointment on my website, iEatMorePlants.com, and then go over to book an appointment. And there's a slot for just a quick consult that you can do just to talk through what that might look like for you. But to add to that, I cannot give out personalized advice to you if I am not your practitioner as your nutritionist. So just keep that in mind. But I will offer general support to this team or to this group of people in the CSA, and hopefully the recipes are helping you eat more plants. And again, if you have questions about what to do with a particular food item, do not throw it away. Keep it in your refrigerator. Reach out to me. Certainly you can Google what recipes to do with it, and also you can donate it to a friend or a family member. All right, so this week I'm probably going to do an eggplant and okra recipe, since a lot of folks don't know what to do with it. But actually, let me show you before I end this. Let me show y'all. Literally, this is my okra. It is cut up. This is how it looks. I'm going to hold it still so you can get a look at how I just cut it, right? And I have it in a mixture of water and vegetable broth. And I add this to various dishes. Brown rice. I have some beans. Last week, those of us with a large share got some field peas, so I added to that. So, you can eat okra as a vegetable. And let me tell you something. If you're one of the people that are trying to lower your blood pressure, trying to get that cholesterol to stay down or not tip over into the medication side of things based on conventional medicine, you might want to add some okra to your plate there as often as possible. It's that mucilage that helps pull the things out, and we'll speak very general, but pull out those things that are not serving you well, that's contributing to high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Now, it's more than just that, but okra is one of those things that can certainly help. It is a lifestyle if you want to improve your numbers when it comes to blood pressure and cholesterol. But ultimately, you got to eat more plants. You got to drink plenty of water. You got to move your body. And if you're eating more plants, if you're drinking water, if you're moving your body, you don't have room for those sugary beverages. You don't have room for processed foods. And you really don't have room for a lot of animal protein if you're eating more plant foods, whole plant foods. So that's rice, that's beans, that's lentils, that's nuts and seeds. It's all the root vegetables that you're getting, the leafy greens, the herbs, the different types of squash and acorn squash. And I want to show you, if you leave out your acorn squash, it will go from dark green to yellow. It is still good. Do not throw it out. It just ages differently. There's a way to keep it refrigerated so it holds and it doesn't turn as fast and get a little bit more ripe. But both of these will taste exactly the same. So I'm actually glad I did that distinction for you all. All right, I'm done because this is about to turn into a long video. But eat more plants. That's how you take your health back, one meal at a time. I'm the plant-based nutritionista, here to inspire you to take your health back one meal at a time by eating more plants. All right, see you soon.